tiger by the tail. Hold on, Tigersharks. Look for a spaceship with a sail and hold on, Tigersharks. Tigersharks. Hold on, Tigersharks.
Welcome back to Retro Wednesday. It's Tigersharks here. This is Mike. Today I want to talk to you about the Super 7 Ultimate's first wave of Tigersharks. Now, this is what Super 7 does. They put out a figure like Octavia that vintage collectors could use, vintage collectors need, and, you know, two very common figures in the vintage line. Well, nothing's really common in Tigersharks, but more of the common side of figures. So it's pretty good. Main characters that we need. First wave. Wave of 3. It's kind of fascinating. It's kind of interesting, but I'm going to go over this and do some comparisons. Of course, comparisons to the original vintage, some cartoon, and just showing what they're doing. Obviously, there's no flip head feature, so let's talk about all this coming up. First off, for those of you that are expecting me to talk about the Loyal Subjects mask, I have lots of stuff to say. Probably do that tomorrow, but I think this is more pertinent. It's more fresh, more new. All right, you get these at super7.com. So the first thing I want to say, this is the whole first wave 1. And if you order from them, you have to pay your $195 up front plus shipping and tax and all that. And then wait till December. So they should be out in December of this year, I think is what they were saying. Deliver in either November or December. And November 2026. But you get these extra heads. So let's get into that real quick. These extra heads are supposed to be the toy versions. Now, I don't really know how an Octavia could be a toy version, but I don't know if there was a prototype for her or something that was floating around there, or they're just saying we're going to make it more simplistic with the eyes and the paint, face paint, the coloration, all that, to make it as if there was a toy of her. But really just looks like the same exact head sculpt with just slightly different paint. Same thing with Mako's toy look, but I think the biggest one, T-Ray's, does look the most different and does look the most like the toy. But I don't think they altered it. I don't think it's a different head sculpt or any of these are different. I think they're just coloration changes. And it's possible that that's pretty much all they did there. But is it worth prepaying ahead of time? That's just up to you. I don't really think I need these, but other people might. All right, so we got the picture of T-Ray here and his gear, his out-of-water gear. So the whole thing about this is that the Tigersharks themselves, the good guys, they were just normal people that went through the Shark Tank and became fish people, and then they converted at a cellular level. The bad guy here, T-Ray, and his goons, they can do the same thing, like the reverse of that, through that same machine. But if they didn't do that, they'd have to have some apparatus to have to breathe outside of water. So they're water-dwelling creatures, and so that's kind of the opposite there. So the Shark Tank, you can go either way, back and forth. And with that, you got to have the gear and the accessories, and they're completely different than the vintage. All right, so here he is with his, I guess, underwater normal self, his normal usual self, and yeah. And then I really should probably do a comparison to the toy, and with this. So they really weren't going for toy look, they were going more for the cartoon look in it, and so that's just how that goes right there. And would I say they've nailed it? Yeah, probably. They probably did do a good job nailing it. Now, I want to point this out. Now, this is something that you can't judge the colors in the renders at all with Super 7. I hate to say that, I hate to be like that, but you just have no idea what color it's going to be till it shows up. You have no idea. No clue. It's just crazy. Like, why can't we match this picture? And all you get for pre-order off of it is the color of the render. Just like their Vac Metal Silverhawks weren't the right colors. And so I used to not care that much, but now it's like, okay, we got one shot at this, and I just don't see them making 6 different versions of T-Ray in the future. I mean, they could possibly, but I just don't think the market's there to command that. But anyway, it looks good. It looks like they're matching the toy even more than the cartoon with the coloration and the look, which I don't mind, and I don't think collectors would be really upset about that either. Here he is with all of his stuffs, which it's kind of strange that he gets 2 different face profiles, portraits, with the mask on. I guess if you think about it, maybe he spent more time out of the water fighting. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the whip. Now the whip looks like it's going to be a lot more flexible than the vintage one, so that's interesting. He's got the crystal, he's got a bunch of hands, and he's got this backpack apparatus, which actually you'll have to pop his head off to put that apparatus on him, and it does not match the vintage at all whatsoever. So I really don't know if they'll come out with a retro of them, which they probably will, just because they have the mold. But I mean, it all depends on if they get past wave 1 or 2 or 3. I mean, I really think that all it needs like 4 waves, and bada bing, they'll have pretty much everything everyone would want. But at the same time, this is pretty cool. This is good. So the one accessory I think that would be transferable to your vintage line would probably be that whip, possibly. Next, we're gonna take a look at Mako here, and Mako Shark. And with that, I think they leaned a lot deeper into A, his vintage toy look, B, the look of him when he's the shark transformation, than with the human side of things. So that's fine. That's probably what fans would want anyway. More than that, and I just don't know what you would do to like make it look like he's got a blazer on or whatever kind of jacket or something that he's wearing as a human. But still, looking at it, it looks pretty good. And I did notice this little arm thing, this little hand thing on there. That's I guess in the show a lot more. That I just never really noticed it so much in the show. But yeah, it's that's pretty good. That works out. I'm okay with it. I think it looks good. Again, the coloration, we don't know exactly what color of blue it's going to be and all of that. Articulation is still going to be just like the Thundercats. It's not going to be double jointed and all that kind of stuff, which I'm fine with the articulation the way it is, but just pointing that one out. And yeah, nice looking head sculpt too. And there he is with all of his stuffs, which is not a lot of stuff. So it looks like these hand gadgets, maybe I'm wrong, but it's like they're connected to the hands. So that's fascinating, because was it on his other hand? I don't know. Yeah, that's fascinating that they did it like that. So so he's got an angry face, a stern face, and a human head. So you don't have the flip gimmick, and no, I don't think anyone would want that. He's got a backpack, I guess. He's gonna go to school. He's got some crystals, and yeah, is that I forgot what they called that. I think they call it like T1000, or there was something that maybe that's what that was. But okay, officially, 5 hands, 2 fists, 2 open, wrist rocket hand, 3 heads, yelling neutral human. He's got wristband, crystal, and backpack. So there it goes. I think they did a pretty good job with them. It looks pretty good. But again, the first 2 we're looking at are 2 of the easiest ones to get in the vintage line, which probably make them the ones that people have more nostalgia for because they probably had them as a kid. All right, next let's get into Octavia, which this character is one that they did not make in the vintage toy line. So it's pretty awesome that they are doing her right off the bat. So collectors like myself could just pull her out and plug her in a vintage display and have a nice additional character in your vintage display. I think size-wise and height-wise, she'd work fine with your vintage collection. And so I think the Ultimates are slightly taller, slightly bigger than vintage, but probably not much. Barely, like a half an inch. So looking at her, she's got some accessories, some cool stuff, but does match really well. I mean, if you really look at the picture, they match the source material very, very well. And yeah, that's how it's done right there. And if you look to the left, where you have the pre-transformation hairdo and all that kind of stuff, the clothes and all that, the face matches it really well. We swapped the head out, but the clothes isn't going to match. But that's just kind of, you got to figure out when you have these transformations how it's going to happen, or what you're going to emphasize most. And obviously it's the fish. All right, so here is all of her stuffs, all her accessories. From the renders, I have no idea exactly how all this stuff is going to come together right now. Like, how are you going to put those extra legs, tentacle things on? I don't know, but let's just hit this real quick officially. She has 7 hands, 2 fists, 2 open, 2 gripping, thumbs up hand. Everyone's got to have a thumbs up, I guess. 4 interchangeable tentacles, which interchangeable. So does that mean you swap them with the ones that are already on her, or do you got 2 that go on the back and then the other 2 could go on the back instead? So I mean, still something I'm curious about. Heads, neutral, and human, and then ink cloud. So that is an ink cloud that she puts on her wrist, and yeah, she looks pretty good. As for accessories, I mean, I'm not sure what they do with her, but glad that we're finally getting her for to add to the collection. And that's something. This is something Super 7 has always done. They've given us like a deeper cut. You can't even say she's a deeper cut because she's in every episode, and she has almost the exact same amount of airtime, if not more, than some of the figures that were made in LJN. So really, she's not a minor character at all. It's definitely needed. And I think, what, Angel, will that come in the next one? I don't know. Next wave, get Angel. So I pre-ordered mine through BBTS. I like that because, well, I don't need those extra heads, and I'll pay for it when it shows up. But Shozi is now shipping these for me right now. So this is something that just happened. They've got them, if you pre-order them, they're in stock. And then I don't know if more will come in stock of these Thundercats. So the reason I point this out is Shozi might carry these Tigersharks. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to carry Wave 1 or Tigersharks or not. But if they do, I'll let everybody know as soon as I find out. And of course, if these come into stock to order, I'll let everyone know. Also, but it does get back to the price of these. They are $65 each, and $195 to get them for the whole set through Super 7. If you want to get those extra heads, and you have to pay in advance for all that, but definitely a good first wave one. I mean, it's not too far out there, and would I have picked different characters myself? Yes, but do I understand why they went with Mako? Because Mako's and T-Ray. I mean, I understand exactly why they did all this, and giving us something that we really need for vintage collectors also is just really amazing. So I'm very happy about this. I have got my pre-orders in it at BBTS. I want to support this line. I want it to have legs and go at least 4 rounds. Let's get at least 4 in there. I'm also disappointed in the fact that like Dungeons and Dragons has stopped, and there wasn't enough push with Dungeons and Dragons, which would be fascinating. Just think about it. How fascinating would it be if Tigersharks gets 4 waves, but Dungeons and Dragons didn't have enough push? So that would be fascinating. I would love to find that out. I would love to see that too. But I want to also know your thoughts. It's actually one of the most selfish things about me making YouTube videos is the fact that I look forward to reading everyone's comments. I mean, it sounds selfish, but it's one of the things I look forward to doing. And so please leave some comments down below if you have thoughts on your mind. I try to respond 100%. Doing a little bit better at that, especially since January with the kind of slow time. It's a little bit easier to get back to all that. But anyway, let me know in the comments below. Like it and subscribe, and Tigerium Hanger out. Enjoy your Retro Wednesday.